once you mix that pig meat with that, then that should come out of. Oh, hey everybody, welcome to the Joe Show podcast. We ain't done this in a little while now. We've been slipping. What is you talking about, man? That's what my grandson said. He said, y'all been slipping with the podcast. How you slip by not recording something? I said, you can't fall if you don't record. He say no, it's a term. I'm not hip to the new language. I know, me neither. Me neither. But on this morning's podcast, and it is a beautiful morning. I don't want to go out there, child. It's too hot. It is hot now. It's hot as the devil. People catching heat strokes from all around. But on to this morning's, I keep on being about to say tonight, podcast. We're going to have a special guest who used to be a frequent star of the Joe Show back in the day, Chadrick Rockarius III. We just called him Chad. All them other names we just learned. That's right. We gonna have Chad on here. He in there you go. Hey there, Chad. How you doing, Joe? Hey there. How's it going, man? They give me a hug. I ain't seen you in so long. I ain't seen you in so long. Yeah, it's been a while. I ain't seen you so long. Okay, baby. Let me get it. Alright, let me dap you up. you see, I'm gangster. I dap him up. I don't hug. So, Chad, how have you been? Oh, I've been blessed, man. Just really just being a serpent for the Lord, and just going around different schools. Oh, God. And, doing what I need to do to, of course, spread the word of Jesus, He blessed me with this life, a long life, you know what I mean? I want to spend that life trying to get people into the word. That's good, baby, that's good. So, what people want to know before we get to of course, the Joe Show era, which is what you're most known for over here on HTV West Side, what was your life like before all that? Well, before all that, I was born February 3rd, 1981. And times was kind of tough. I had a dad, he was a drunk. My mom, she was cool. Her and my grandmother actually raised me in a church. You know what I mean? And it was just my dad. He got into that drinking. And, he just talked for hours and bug you. He wasn't very abusive, if there were any abuse, it was verbal. I was kind of heavier as I got older. And, he would be like, fat fuck. Oh, excuse me. Hey. Hey, I'm sorry about that. They're going to have to edit that part. Oh, it's okay, Chad. It's okay. That part too. But give us 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, just 1 minute. Yeah, he was just very verbally abusive when he would get on that bottle, though. And how long did he stay a hoodlum? Oh, for some time, Joe. He just couldn't shake that. I think that he had some real personal demons that he wasn't able to combat, but thank God, February 11th, 2002, he got clean. We took him to church. That's good. Took him to church one Sunday, and it changed his life. It changed his outlook. And he started ushering, but eventually, due to the years of abuse of his drinking, he succumbed to a heart attack at what he was, I think about 51, 54, or 60, yeah. So we just celebrated his 60th birthday. He died 4 days after that. So yeah, man, it was just hard, dealing with that. But I'm thankful that, I never fell into that trap. Yeah, cause it's easy to follow into evil's traps. Cause it looks so tempting. When you come in the world, I feel you were born in this world. Good parents, good parents try to keep your children from the negative aspects of the world. And when you're raised in a church, because you was raised in a church, is that right, Chad? Yeah, I was raised in a church. You see, it's just you raised into that, and when you see that negative side, you like, that's interesting. I never seen that before. Exactly, But I never got that curious. My parents wouldn't allow me to be that curious, into street life and all these other different things. I never dabbled or peeked my head into it. I knew it exists because I had friends that did it, but I didn't know of the lifestyle. I just more so knew that was a avenue that existed, and I tried to help as many people as I can, at a young age. I remember this preacher George, he used to just be like, hey, Chad, man, you a vessel for the young people. He said this, I was 5 years old. So you a vessel for the young people, man. Go on out there and, spread the word. And that's what I've been doing since I was like, 5, young. And yeah. So early life, it wasn't too bad. It was just, my dad was just drunk, man. He was just drinking. And you say you dealt with the verbal abuse. There was no other kind of abuse. No kind of abuse, man, So straight and narrow. Okay, so as far as school, how was your grades in the school? Very good. I paid attention. I wasn't one of those just misbehaving for no reason class clowns. I always just did my work. They used to call me the nerd. I remember they called me Chad Brockarius the nerd, and that's just what I seemed like, because I just kept to myself and just did what I was told. I just was one of those people that just felt like if you do your work and if you do what you're supposed to do, you should be you should be successful, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't see it as that. They see it as you have to socialize with this group. You have to talk too much. And I never seen it like that. I seen you need to just, do what you need to do and get your work done. As far as a social circle, you'll have the people you socialize with and people you choose not to. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, the world don't see it like that. The world, a lot of times, Chad, they want you to behave to a certain standard, but there's only one standard. One standard that only makes sense, and that's that standard. You need to be living for God. That's all I feel. And exactly, man. That's why when I came across you, and what was that? 05? Yeah, I think it was 05. I think it was. That's why that was such a blessing to me. You know what I mean? I came across, somebody a lot more wiser, and that can help me on my whole road, and that meant a whole lot. So what? So as a young man, Chad, what aspirations did you have that young? I mean, did you want to go to college? What was your goals that you eventually met or still trying to reach right now? What were those goals, baby? Well, the main goal was to try to get people to see the light, you know what I mean? And but as far as like college and different things like that, I did want to further my education because I wanted to be an inspiration. I mean, even though I said I didn't have a rough upbringing, we didn't have anything, you know what I mean, except a drunk dad and Jesus Christ. That's all we had. But that's all we needed. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be that person that could just do a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like, to show people I come from nothing, but look at what I've done. And you know, that's what I did. And I got my doctrine. You know, about that was a goal. I got my doctrine. I went to college, and you know what I mean? I studied psychology for some time, but you know, overall, I just wanted to have a whole bunch of interesting backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? And you know, after a while, I was a nursing assistant, and I later got my own studio. And what got me into that is just listening to all these different gospel CDs, you know what I mean, and how they were mixed and mastered and how they sounded. Jill, you got a fly on your head. Oh shoot. But you know, just listening to all these sounds and various instruments, and you know, I thought that I could do the same thing. So I worked real hard, you know what I mean, and what they call grinding out there. You know, I did different jobs. I worked at South Beach in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Doing different little shops like that, and that was a rough time. Oh yeah? Yeah, it really was rough, Joe, because I was managing college, 2 jobs, you know what I mean, and all these different things, and it was a lot going on, you know, and but I was again trying to be that person, like no matter what it is, if I can thank it, and then God can get me through this if I just give it to Him. And you know, fortunately, I came across some good people at South Beach. It was just the only thing that was crazy about it is the nightlife and the women, you know what I mean, acting all promiscuous, and you know, the dudes wanting to fight you because they don't know why his girl like you or this or that. I can't stand it, you know, and it was just dealing with that, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, man, I actually got fired from one job because I just prayed over this young man, you know what I mean. His name was hold on, that wasn't his name. His name was Pete Sanford. You know what I'm saying? And he was just this older dude. You know, he was like, man, I've been homeless all that time, man. I've been homeless all that time. And after a while, you know, I just said, hey, man, you know, you've been homeless all this time, but this is the day you get brought out of it. You know, and I prayed over, you know what I mean? It took a good little while. You know, people in South Beach just staring at me, but I said, brother, those stairs don't matter right now. You know what I'm saying? Assalamu alaikum boka. You know, and then after a while, it's crazy because like I think 3 days later, you know, he got this job, he shaved, and he was cleaned up. You know what I mean? And I just used to do stuff like that. You know, it wasn't necessarily about my blessings. A lot of times it was about blessing other people, you know, and being that inspirational figure that people can look up to and be like, hey, man, you know, if Chad can do it, I can do it, you know. And that's just really what I wanted to be, a superhero, you know what I mean? Created and designed and manufactured by the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, you got the 2 jobs at South Beach. You lose one. You're in college. How was the college for you? I mean, was it tough? Was it too hard? Well, I never enter a task thinking it's going to be easy. You know, I knew it was going to be something that I was going to be, you know, having to have a lot of dedicated time to. But, you know, I didn't look at it like, oh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be this is going to be that. I knew what it was. I knew what I was getting into, you know. And it was still a great experience because, like I said, man, I met people there, you know, that like-minded people. You know what I mean? That just understood where I was coming from mentally. They got it. It's like, oh, you know, you come from nothing, but you able to be here, you know? I mean, I used to get a lot of jobs. I worked at Checkers and all that. And I'm just kind of, you know, having memories of this. I mean, you know, just really coming from nothing. I mean, but just working, you know. And how did your mom and your family react to your success? Oh, they were happy. They were anything. If I got a job at Burger King, they would be like celebrating on Sunday, barbecuing, you know what I mean? like, because they understood what it was like to win. You know what I mean? It's, again, I come from a family that didn't have a whole lot, so they would cheer. You know what I mean? If they was able to catch a cockroach. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, dang, the smallest win mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was like. The smallest win meant a whole lot to us because we had a lot not going for us. We were losing a lot, and we were praying. But my family stayed faithful. They stayed in the church. And, staying in the church, staying faithful to the Lord, being a servant, all of that paid off because it passed on to me, and I was able to do these different things, have these different jobs. Some of them was odd jobs, some of them I don't have the best memories of, but at the end of the day I did something, and I was successful at it. I made a goal, and the goal came through. My mom, she worked for a while. What she did? She swept the floors, cleaned shoes. God bless her heart. She worked real hard, and she'll just get $20 at the end of the day. So she had to work like 5 jobs just to make ends meet. You know what I mean? And even with those 5 jobs, that's just $100. And so I come from that. You know what I mean? Working really hard, and so it's just the grind, man. It never stops. So you're doing really good. You build a studio. Now, who inspired you to do that again? That was the gospel CDs I was listening to, and I came across Rick, my boy Rick. We was friends we still friends. We friends. He up there in LA right now, but man, we hit it off in college. Really, just came in my dorm room one time. He was like, "Hey man, all you do is play that gospel," and I loved it. Because I was always getting flack about my gospel music. I'm like, if you don't like it, like, don't come by my dorm room. It wasn't like I had it blaring it. You need to play that instead of some slow down. They had this one robotic talking about some wiggle, 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 wiggle. What the heck is you saying? What is he talking about? You need to play some slow gospel. Praise is what I do. You're so silly. That's just how I feel. They they clowning me for playing William Murphy or Shirley Caesar. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what I listen to. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, kick rocks. Maybe sometimes I had it blaring. I'll be honest. Go ahead, be honest. Because let me tell you now. It don't matter how loud you have CDs. They be having the most minuscule, ignorant, I'm talking the most dumbest music I be hearing. And this haven't just been last year in the past. It's been in the recently. Exactly, and I'm just I'm over all this type of music that be playing, you know what I mean? I don't understand how people can idolize drug addicts, you know what I mean? But we living in the last days, Joe, so we can't really get mad at that, that's where it's at. And hopefully, the music I do inspires the young youth to look up to somebody, you know what I mean, has something worth talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have nothing worth talking about, you shouldn't talk. And that's just how I feel. Okay, so your boy Rick, Rick, me and Rick, man, we was always together. He'll send me gospel CDs because he was actually in college for studio engineering. I forgot to ask you too, Chad. What college did you go to? What was the college? That was the University of Tony B Institute. Oh yeah, University of Tony B. Yeah. And it was awesome, it was a great experience. I mean, at first, looking back though, it was a bit of a rough start. Why does man keep cutting off? I'm be good. But first, it was a rough start, just understanding the difference. It was a different ball game with college. Like you couldn't just go up to people and pray for them like I was doing. You know what I mean? Because you had certain rules and regulations at that college, and But me and Rick, being Rick, man, we like once he came into the picture, like it made the experience more fun because it seemed like just had these devils. I had these devils all around me. You know what I mean? They just always, hey man, smoke this, man. You ain't within the clique. I had all these devils, and I just got tired of the devil worshippers. And after a while, I just made me and Rick, and then Rick had his friends too that believed in the same thing, had the same ideas. They come to me, and soon we got a group. You know what I mean? And it was called, I think we were called We Are One for Jesus. That's what we called ourselves. And I think he did the music on the keys, and I sung. And then we had my boy Todd who rapped. He used to rap the little songs. Oh yeah, he used to do different flows. He was very talented, blessed. And we should, with our money, we all came together and built a studio. You know what I mean? And we had fun, man. We just used to just record. And actually on one of your early Joe Show episodes, well, the '07 episode, you see us in there. You know what I mean? We clowning until, of course, a certain person comes in there. We're going to ask about him too. Oh, yeah. But he got on my nerves, though. Yeah, so after a while, we meet. And let me tell you what I liked about you, Chad, is I liked that you were so young and you were so into the Holy Spirit, into the scripture. You could quote Psalms, Peter, Leviticus. You could quote all these scriptures, and you were so young. All these scriptures. Man, I read it, man. You know what I mean? It just interested me, you know what I'm saying, to just always be there for God. So that's what made me say I want him on a Joe Show. You know what I mean? Because we had Best at the time, and people don't know that out there on the East Coast. I thought about that, but Best was actually on the Joe Show. We was trying to help his life. You know what I mean? And he did okay. He was all right. But you came in. Your first appearance was actually on a 90% episode. I brought you in to let the fans know this he comes. You know what I mean? To the Joe Show. Yeah, and that portion of the show got a lot of high ratings. You know what I mean? Because I'm not even sure. I just came in there. I was like, hey man, you believe in the power of the Lord? That's all I said. And you just see how God works. Like all I did was just comment. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything, because around this time, XTV West Coast was about the violence, the killing, the this, the that. But here I am. I'm like, that's the first thing I said on the recording. I said, hey man, you had introduced me to Best, and I said, hey man, you believe in the power of the Lord? Hey, that's all you need, man. That's all I said. And that portion of the show was so high rated, and I was requested. You know what I mean? You was requested a great deal. Let me tell you, the emails, Lord, the emails I would get, y'all need to bring that boy on that show. And I'm like, his name Chad, okay? He'll be there. And, I guess you still had a job. What you were taking care of? Oh, well, Joe, I'm not going to even lie, man. I just became a full-time going out there and praying over people. I would be in the parking lot of Sefner and just praying for people for a long time. Walmart, that is. I was one of them. And I just be out there. I was full-time doing that. I didn't care about money. You know what I mean? I said, if God wants me to eat, I will be fed. And a lot of times I was fed, but some days I wasn't. But I knew the next day I would eat. Exactly. So I never worried about, suffering from hunger pains. The hunger pains didn't exist. What I got full from was getting some individual closer to understanding God. You know what I mean? People that got 6 months to live. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? 6 months before the inevitable happens, and I'm in there praying for them and getting them to cry all that pain out. Now they don't have 6 months to live. They still living to this day, or they are closer to God when they didn't even know him 6 months before. You know what I'm saying? So now they get to go to a happier place, and that's just what I became. That's what I was getting full off of. Changing people's lives, being an inspiration to young people, older people, middle-aged people, you know what I mean? People that society turn their nose up on. And I'm like, hey, who won't turn their nose up on you? And that's just who I was, and that's just what I tried to do. And that was the path I was on, and I remember you came up there, Chad. I think I came to you, and I say, boy, how old is you? Because I heard you praying so loud. He was doing the grunts, Mary Man. Oh, he was doing that. Exactly. He over there. He doing a Teddy Pendergrass grunt praying. I'm like, wait, this boy, because I thought he was Brother Adela. Brother Adela done passed away for a long time ago, probably 1999. That was a bad funeral. I fought somebody. But he passed away way back. So hearing your preacher, you sounded like him. And I'm like, nah. I look at you and I'm like, that boy is filled with the Holy Ghost. He filled with the Spirit. I mean, he was saying things, man. He said, God forgive me for what I don't know. Whatever that prayer is. You know what I'm talking about. And so I say, Chad is awesome. Later you introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Chadrick Brocarius the third, and I just call you Chadrick. And I say, I just call you the third. I just call you the third, Chad, because he said, Chadrick Brocarius the third. And he said it so fast. I say, I just call you the third, Chad. I don't know how to do all that tongue twisting name. Did your daddy name me that? Was he drunk? Nah, man. Nah, I got butter when I laugh. Oh, Lord. So, you come into the Joe Show, open arms. Everybody love you. Man, that's one thing I felt the Joe Show did. It was like it gave so much love, and it was so much lighthearted at the time, compared to what was going on. It was chaos. You know what I mean? 90% doing what he was doing, being a reckless, and just really letting out the anger, you know what I mean? And us on the other side. I mean, at first the Joe Show was a little bit, not really tolerable, the early Joe Shows, because, we was angry as well at what was going on. But again, as the series progressed, there was those episodes that progressed the series into be what we were trying to come across as, that people remember. Officer Neil in there, and all these other different people and factors into the show. But that's what made it classic. And I just love the family vibe it had, you know what I mean? The turkey, because my grandma, she was a little sick. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not a tornado. It's watching this loud. Hey everybody, we done moved to another location. Where we was now? It's let me look. Okay. Oh yeah, you were saying something about your grandmama. Yeah, she was getting sick. I mean, she's still around now, but at that time she had kidney disease. You know what I mean? And after a while, she got well. But At that time, I just didn't, the family was, I mean, you know how it is. At first, when you think somebody's about to be gone and it comes out of nowhere like that, I mean, she was still relatively young, you know what I mean? But it's just that it came out of nowhere though. Here she is one day working at Walmart and then she just passed out, you know what I'm saying? And, we thinking that she finna be gone because the doctor's telling us all it is and all of these different medications and things like that. But I come into the Joe show and getting that same love because the family wasn't having it around that time. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like, "Oh, what did she leave a will?" And some people want money, some people want this and that. I ain't giving no names, But dealing with that, you know what I'm saying? It was a very rough period with my family, but I prayed, man, nights and nights and nights, and I rarely went home because of all the drama, because our grandma, she always lived with us, you know what I'm saying? And she just, she was sick, you know what I'm saying? And we were scared because we didn't know what was going to happen. Well, she's still alive today. How old she is? 92. Oh, that's good. That's a blessing, but she's smart. I mean, it's just, it was rough. But that family vibe I had, man, it meant a lot, because I didn't have that at the house. And just doing the Joe show, just coming in every now and then, because you seen how it was. Let me tell y'all, Chadrick Brocario, whatever your name is, that boy just work. I'm talking, he don't stop working. You see him when he in the studio. You see him on a piano. He got a program on a computer. He dipping and dabbing in this. He praying for somebody. He is the most workingest worker I ever seen. And I'm talking. He here. He there. He taking a trash shot. He getting a seat ready for you. He catering to you. You want some nachos? You want some chips? I'm talking the most workingest dude. And show been in nigga James Brown, but he passed. But Chad is just awesome, and that's what I noticed. And you was in that studio. I never stopped working. You know what I mean? Like I said, I want to be an inspiration to people, coming from nothing but doing a whole lot to make something of myself. You know what I mean? Church, and that's just what I try to do. With whatever it is I do. I'm still like that to this day. Like that's never stopped. I've never stopped working or nothing like that. I decided I'm just gonna always work, and whatever blessing comes to me, it comes to me, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it, and I'm gonna do what I need to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But until then, time will tell. So you're doing a Joe show. Now this is where it get interesting. Oh Lord. This child got on our nerves from '07 to 2012, and sometimes he still get on our nerves. I can't stand him. The Killer. Oh yeah. Whew. He came on a Joe show and got on people's nerves. He almost broke you, not Chad. Oh yeah, almost. He almost broke all of us in the studio. We almost was playing it, man. We need to. I think a friend of ours, you know what I'm saying? He was a Crip for 5 years and a Christian for 1 year. So, imagine that. You know what I'm saying? You 5 years a Crip. You know what I mean? Repping your set or whatever they do, doing these other mischievous things. We prayed for that young brother. A year later, he became a Christian. Just 1 year now. You know what I mean? His mind is still on street. His mind is still on, I'm going to tear this boy up if he come in here again with that, you know what. So, man, I tried to, this wasn't on air, but he almost fought Killer. He almost sliced the boy's throat. He got some little thing, and Killer was going to go on the radio. I'm going to tell the Joe show, Chad, boy, tried to kill me. I'm going to tell, tried to kill me. He said it so fast. You know how he used to be, And I remember just chasing him around. He just was just so like bad, you know what I mean, and reckless. And I just wish that something would stop it, and he was gonna kill that boy, you know what I mean. And he almost destroyed the killer, and I just he used to get on my nerves, Joe. Like he used to really be testing me. I mean, I told you, I've been through South Beach up there in Miami. I've been through all these different phases in my life, but never have I seen somebody so evil, so disrespectful, you know what I mean, and do it on purpose, you know what I'm saying, to just do all that. I couldn't understand it. I'm like, I remember getting to a point where I questioned God. Oh, really? And you already know, man, like I'm strong. I got a strong relationship with God, but this was then, of course. And I was just like, God, how could you create something like this? Something so evil. I understand everybody got their free will, but look at this dude. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? He should have been gone, I felt, because of how evil he was. Like, he was so, he used to do satanic things. Remember, Joe? He did. He used to do he had little voodoo dolls in front of your house. You know what I mean? Little crazy stuff. Dead rabbits, and he over there talking about some, what that chant? What? Don't bring that chant up. I don't know what that chant meant that night, but don't bring that up again. All right, because I had like 12 nightmares, Joe, over that. Like, he was crazy. I don't know what that boy took that night. All I know is it was 12 a.m. and I heard a rabbit shriek or whatever. I thought it was a chicken. I ain't never heard no rabbit shriek until that night. That's how I know this was like, okay, this ain't a work of God. This is a work of Satan. And he trying to test, man. He tried to test us like no other. And that's what happened, man, And I just used to try to refrain from swearing. I almost turned to my dad, you know what I'm saying? I almost called him the fat names that he used to call me when I was a little chubby kid. So I actually going back to that, and I want to apologize to people that's going, kind of see something. I didn't even ask you on certain things you talked about. I apologize. I just talked about it. It's all right, Joe. We all make those kind of mistakes. But back in the day, when you was an overweight kid, what you think that was from? Being filled with the Holy Ghost. So silly. Nah, Joe. It was just from overindulging. You know what I'm saying? In sweets, and when you that young and you taste candy the first time, you want some more. You know what I mean? And that's just what it became. I was like, man, I want some more yum yums. You know what I'm saying? Some more crunches, whatever it's called. And it was just eating all these sweets. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time, I was always praying for somebody. And one time I was just like praying for this one guy, and he said, yeah, you want to show me how God works? Show me how you can lose weight in 5 months. You know what I'm saying? He just said that out of nowhere. And that hit me. And I actually lost weight in less than 5 months. You know what I'm saying? And I said, now my inspiration to you. You know what I mean? And I remember him just like shaking his head like, wow, man, you did it. You did it. And we became friends. And we still friends to this day, me and that guy, what his name was, Brian. We still friends to this day. But that was something he said. And then when I lost all that weight, I got him into God and, all these other different things. But yeah. So your friend was a Crip for 5 years. Oh, Lord. Jesus. And a Christian for 1 year. Did he ever adjust to, a good relationship with God? It took a while, man. It took a whole lot. He was so used to smoking weed. He was used to running on his chick and, what that mean, running on a chick? What? She ain't a trampoline. What running on a chick mean? No, not jumping on her or literally running on her. Just, going to this girl and, dogging her out, treating her bad, and then getting another girl and doing the same thing. He was that kind of guy, and so we had to just sit down to him, And sometimes when people are that damaged, no disrespect, but you have to kind of treat them like a 5-year-old. You have to treat them like a newborn, because they're new to God, So you have to spoon feed them. You can't just rush everything on them and make them feel like they're going to hell if they don't change their ways. You have to slowly, let them know who this person is. You got to slowly introduce them to this person. It's like you got to, be like, hey man, this dude, he saved my life. You know what I mean? And then you tell them this, and then you give them this passage, and then you say this, and then after a while it builds up, and then they build a relationship with them, and they see it themselves, But not everybody will do that. Everybody gonna go their own way, and all you can do is pray for those kind of people. If you can't save them, hopefully somebody else that's in somebody else's journey that's meant to save them. If they are meant to be saved, because like I said, going back to Killer, that was somebody. When I would pray for a man, I'd be about to smack him. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, we was at our studio and we got a whole bunch of loose wires because I guess the MP60 wasn't working or whatever. And we got a whole bunch of the cords, man, and we just like tied them to this chair. You know what I'm saying? And we just prayed for him. And it was like The Exorcist. I seen that movie. That scared the living love out of me. I hated white people that made horror movies for a week. I was scared. But let's delete that part out. But anyway, yeah, it just like that's how it was. We had this guy strapped to a chair trying to pray over him, and he'd just be like spitting stuff up, spitting in people's faces. You know what I mean? The Crip for 5 years, we had to get his butt up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because he was about to, Killer would have got hurt. Like he looked like he could do some damage. You know what I'm saying? To Killer that day. But, of course it, didn't work. It didn't manifest towards him. But, later on, I don't know where Killer at with the Lord or whatever. I just know that, at that particular moment, what I seen was scary. What other people seen was funny and he's unique. He's a comedian. That's not comedy to me. Spitting in somebody's face is not comedy. You know what I mean? Calling somebody this or that, the third, with no weight behind it. That's not comedy, that's disrespect, that's evil, But it is what it is, I still wish that man a lot of success because people coming from where he came from, they don't have a lot of success, you know what I'm saying? And they see other people succeeding while they trying to do whatever they doing, and they eventually dabble into it and make evil original. Oh Lord, that's that's what's disrespectful. That's what I didn't like about him, is he was trying to make something that he knew was wrong nice and unique, But yeah. So you got yourself a whole clique of friends. Y'all all doing the right thing, on the right path for the Lord Jesus. You on a Joe show. You got all these things going on. What happened? I was getting a little burned out with the music thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it just wasn't coming to me like that. The praying and stuff was what I love to do. And, I tried to be a preacher. And, I went to this school. And that's when the devil kicks in again. Oh, yeah, what happened? Well, I tried to go into this school to, I want to be a preacher and stuff. And a guy by the name of Gex, XTV East and West should know who this guy is. He steals my identity. You know what I'm saying? And I went to jail. I never been in jail prior to this, so it was only time I've been to jail is when I prayed for people. But this time I'm a prisoner, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? Just understand that Gex stole my identification, and I was like messed up, and people were saying that I was doing things I wasn't doing, with money, with women, and I remember it was this video on MySpace a long time ago. Oh Lord, MySpace. It was like Chad from the Joe Show exposed, he's doing this and doing that, and I'm like, that's not me, you know and the law was on my tail. I spent a good 2 months in jail. Wow. Oh Lord. And man, that was a rough time period. That was a rough time period. You know what I'm saying? And I was mad. Cause I'm like, dude, here I am trying to be a preacher. Now I'm in jail. 2 months, and it was bad. And then I got sent to prison. And I was trying to plead my case. After a while, people seen like, look, this guy stole my ID. I had to do a lot. You know what I mean? I had to prove who I was. I had to live again almost. I had to show them the background. I had to show them a lot. Like the college I went to and everything, because Gex is good at stealing somebody ID. I mean, that's one thing I'm going to say. But after a while, and I just want to say how this all happened. I want to say it from what happened. We did a Joe show in the year 2007, and we allowed Gex to come in because they were saying he was a star that fell off or whatever, and we wanted him to tell his story on our show. So he come now, and Chad left his wallet. You used to always leave your wallet. Don't no more. They're not. He used to always leave his wallet. I'm like, Chad, you left your wallet again. And so he left his wallet, you know what I mean? And on this Joe Show episode, he got mad. And he said, he was like, Gex got mad because he thought I cut him off or disrespected him, whatever he thought. And then he had said, I ain't got to come to this old behind show no more. And he threw something and hurt his hand, and then I guess when we wasn't looking, he stole Chad's wallet and left. You know what I mean? And I think that's how that happened. Yeah, and I remember you even had to come to court. Oh, we gonna show you support. We your homies. But yeah, it was rough, man. And I remember seeing that man in court. He over there crying and all this. I'm like, man, save that for somebody else. Somebody that care. I'm just like, say that for somebody else. But eventually, I got my identification back. But some relationships wasn't working out because people thought I was fake. They thought I was a fake this, a fake that, you know what I'm saying, and all this. And I waited for that controversy to die down. And I just kind of lived my life, And February of 2009, I got married. Yep. I got married to Susan Thomas, you know what I'm saying? She just, man, she was always at this church I would go to, always there, you know what I mean? And just her words and her power and her voice and all the things she would see, it was just so interesting. And I just never heard nobody pray like her before. And we just talking a little bit. A little bit turns to a lot. And, what she did at the church, she mentored the kids and stuff like that. Kids from battered homes. And she used to try to just, get them on the right track. Same thing I was trying to do. But she did it from a woman's perspective. She helped abused women that, unfortunately got raped at a young age. And, she would be there to, guide them through that rough journey. Because she said she had a dark, past too. But she overcame it as well. And, that's what she did and just how dedicated she was to it. And this being a woman, you know what I mean, all by herself. Me, I had some friends and stuff. But after a while, we started talking about God. And, she liked the way I talked. I liked the way she talked, And we got married in February of 2009. You know what I mean? I think we got engaged. I think I took that ring out in October. And man, we hit it off. Yeah, y'all got married, invited me and May to the wedding. That was a fun wedding. It was. I remember it was with pearls inside the church. It was like little blue pearls or something. And it was like, it was fun. Y'all jumped the broom. I remember that. Chad almost tripped. I did. You almost tripped jumping that broom. I told you not to jump it. You gonna trip. And I remember that your mama sung Amazing Grace. Ooh, it was so soulful. It said Amazing. She killed it. Yeah. And it was a pretty wedding. I say this was pretty. And then after the wedding, of course, comes the baby. You know what I mean? That happened. We got a baby in, I think, January 2010. You know what I'm saying? She got pregnant. Actually, it was conceived. You know. And what's the baby name? Oh, that's Malachi. You know what I mean? Malachi Brocarius the third, Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And man, he a bundle of bad. He say that boy a good boy. He a bundle of bad. He get on my nerves, but he just a baby. But I'm teaching him about God. I used to read him stories. When he was a newborn, and now let me get that. Now he about to be 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? He great though. Like he reads the Bible. Like he reads it. It's crazy. Like he know. That kid that collect comics. He collect Bible things. Like he collect all kind of stuff. He don't want to go to Adventure Island. He want to go to that Bible place out there in Orlando. He want to go there for the summer for his birthday. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just where I'm at. So, do you see yourself as having a future in XTV West Coast? Right now, it's at an interesting point. You see the Joe Show podcast here. Do you see yourself either doing a podcast or just what you see yourself doing in the future? Just really, I don't see myself doing a podcast because I don't know, like not that the market is flooded, but I don't want to do something everybody else is doing. I always try to come unique and original. You know what I mean? That's something that a few people are doing, and they are really exceeding that, and it's really good. I could do without some of the dark things that are revealed a lot of times. But sometimes I guess they gotta be revealed. History has to be told. It has to be documented. But sometimes it's just like, wow, too much is too much. You know what I mean? That's what they say about the podcast with me and Miss Joe. Did they email me about that so much, Joe? I know we get nominated for recording of the year, and we happy about that now. But don't come to my page with that foolishness, and then wonder why you blocked with another page, with a whole nother page talking about something. Why I got blocked from you? Because you was being disrespectful, not silenced. So you don't see. So do you see yourself doing anything then? Maybe. You know what I mean. The only thing I can think of is, the wrestling thing is pretty cool. So they was thinking about having me do that. Commentating. You know what I'm saying? XTV East Coast doesn't really know me, so some people saying, man, you should get out there, put the word out there with them or to them. Also, me, Trunks, and Ada. Ada Vickers. Oh, you work with Ada. You a star then. Yeah, we gonna really make this film. Can his family live without drama? We really gonna make this play like really big. You know what I mean? We gonna really do it up, and it might be one of the biggest things from XTV West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Depending on when we finally do it. But it's just going to be very interesting because, again, just like when I came in and all I said was, you believe in the power of the Lord, just like at that time, how impactful and different it was. Same thing going to happen with this. It's like, it's really just, good, you know what I'm saying, compared to the chaos that ensues most of the time. So that's just all I try to do is put a positive perspective on things. And, now, Chad, I just want to say this has been nice. Yeah, it's been good to go down memory lane. You talked about the Crip. How the Crip doing? The Crip's doing great, man. You know, he definitely in the church every Sunday, and he's actually a usher. Oh yeah, yeah, he a usher, and you know he definitely put that lifestyle down. You know what I'm saying? And that's over with. You know, I still keep in contact with Rick and all my friends, you know what I'm saying? It's just we both on different schedules. We both working, and that never stops. And it's never gonna stop. For as long as I have air in my lungs, I will continue to do what I do and be that vessel for the Lord, you know, because that's what's important. Well, this has been a Joe Show podcast. Y'all give us y'all feedback or dislike or like. It don't matter to us. If it's honest, it's honest. For Grandpa Joe, Mary May, Chadrick Brock Carrier's third. I'm you tongue twisting your name too. Chadrick Brock Carrier's the third. Don't you forget to stop and smell roses on the way today. Deuces.